Alright, are you the student who is struggling with studying effectively and you want to become that student who is at the top of the work, acing all the exams? If you're that person, stick around because I'm going to be sharing some of the most effective and proven tips that will enhance and develop you as a student, and most importantly, your studying habits. So in this video, I will talk about some studying techniques, some time management strategies, and last but not least, how to stay motivated during this journey that we all have in school. First off, let's talk about effective studying techniques. So the first tip, which is, I believe, the foundation of everything else that we're going to be talking about today in this video, is to just plan and organize all the way to the end. So if you're a middle schooler, if you're in high school, if you're in college or university, as a student, you need to know what you're going to be doing and what you will do in a day, in a week, in a month, or even a year. So if you're in high school, in those 4 precious years of high school, you need to know what you're going to be doing each year. So you can use some apps like Google Calendar, AnyDo, Todoist, or even your Notes app on your iPhone or on your laptop, or even a piece of paper at the most simple form, or a notebook to just write down every task, such as your upcoming exams, upcoming tests, or projects, presentations, or lectures that you need to be doing or you need to get done, or any important event, task, anything that you need to be reminded of in order for you to get it done and get it successfully completed. You need to plan and organize it in order to be that student. So let's say you're a high school student, you're going to be at school every day. So every weekday, Monday through Friday, you're going to be at school. So what you're going to be doing, if you're using Google Calendar, any other app, you're going to be like, I'm going to be at school at like 8 a.m. and I'm going to go to my first period class, my first course, things that I need to do, the time that I need to be there, and then the things that I'm going to be due, and then the homeworks and the assignments are going to be due after. So I know if I come home like at the end of the school day, and then it's a Monday, and to come home, I need to eat my lunch, do my routine, whatever, and I need to get to work and get these things done. So it's easier to have everything planned out and organized. And if you do this every day, and if you're gonna expand it to like a larger period of time, every week, every month, every year, you have a plan for yourself. So you're more organized and more, you have everything planned out for yourself. So everything is scheduled for you. So you don't have to be worrying about missing or just forgetting about events and tasks. Second tip of effective studying techniques is active learning. So active learning is for every student. If you're in high school, if you're in college, you need to have a notebook or an application. Preferably in college, you use applications. It's way more easier to be taking notes during class, to take notes for yourself. So most especially if you're in high school, you need to have a notebook for every class, for every course that you're taking in your high school. You need to have a notebook for it. And unfortunately, which I'm not surprised, where I live, New York, and the whole country, notebooks, because you're using your laptop, and technology is really just developing, and you don't really have to be that old school way and just taking notes physically. But if you have it, you're going to be one step ahead of other students and other people, because in every class, every day, every period, you're going to be taking notes at the same time that the professor or the teacher is presenting the material. So you're going to be writing everything, and it's going to be your first-handed, your written notes, and your material. So when you have a test coming up, you have state tests coming up, you have exams coming up, you have your own material. So you don't have to depend on other people's, your friends' materials, their study guide, even your teachers' things that they post and they give you guys, and they really provide us with material, so you can use them also, which is a great way. But also you have your own completed, very completed sort of study guide and material, so you don't have to depend on any other person. So for every class, have a notebook and be actively. It's great to be actively taking notes. And when you get home, after you get all those assignments, all those homeworks done, you get to review every day, 25 minutes or 30 minutes, depending on the material that you have. So whatever that you have learned in that day, science, physics, maths, foreign language, whatever, history, you come home, you have your materials either written on laptop or on your notebook, and you're going to be reviewing that every day. The first thing, to be actively learning. The second thing, to review and refresh your mind. And the third thing, to be ahead of other people, because you already learned it one time during class, but when you get home, you review it for 2 times. That means you're one time ahead of other people. Therefore, when you go to school the next day, when you go to college the next day, you can answer questions because you have the stuff more memorized and more familiar for yourself. And this is an easy step to be ahead and be that student compared to other students. So now we're going to be talking about time management strategies. So the first tip is to prioritize your tasks. So prioritize your tasks by importance. So if you have a test coming up and you come home and you have your assignments and homeworks on that day, and then you have an exam coming up the next day, which one is more important? So if your homework is more important, do it first, get it done first after an hour or so, depending on the difficulty, and then go study for an exam. Vice versa, if you have an exam which is more important, study for that first, get it done after you got an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, depending on what time you start, and then you have that time to dedicate to studying, preparing for your exam, and then you're done. Your day, your education, your schoolwork is done. So you're going to be prioritizing everything for yourself in order to save time. So if you want to save time, if you want to manage your time, you need to manage your tasks first. The second tip is to avoid multitasking. So the thing that I did a lot, I confess, and many of you guys might be doing, is to just have, while you're studying and while you're doing something and you're in your flow state and you're focused, is to just have your cell phone, by your side on your table, just playing a YouTube video, a Mr. Beast video, and you're watching, or on your laptop or your computer when you're studying, you have a tab of YouTube, playing a video, and you just having fun and also studying, so you just don't want to be bored. But that's the worst thing a student and any person can do. So instead of doing that, close the tab, put the phone away, and put some music on. Especially, Spotify music, some mellow, light, chill music, Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, music, whatever. But what I would recommend and advise you guys to just be one step ahead is to have sort of more scientifically music playing around you while you're studying. So there are so many apps, a great variety of applications out there, such as Brain.fm, Brain Sound, an app that I got introduced to this year, Balance, which is a free app for everything, not just studying. And the sounds and the music are created scientifically in order to give you focus, in order to get you in the flow state, and then for everything. And you can set a timer for 30 minutes, an hour, 5 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours. Just have that music that you chose by your taste playing, especially for studying, and stop multitasking. Finally, now we're going to be talking about how to stay motivated. The first tip that I would say to everyone, which is the most obvious one, obviously, is to set academic goals. So you're going to be setting clear academic goals for yourself. Big ones, long-term ones, or small, short-term ones. So you're going to break it down into smaller goals and steps, in order to achieve what you want. So if you want to get a perfect score or a great score on an exam, and if you want to get a perfect GPA, if you want to get a higher GPA, aim for that, break it down into smaller steps and achieve it. And now we move on to the second tip, which is reward yourself after getting and achieving what you want. So when you achieve that GPA, when you achieve that academic goal, reward yourself, after completing the task, whatever is sort of, rewarding, you assume appropriate for yourself. Reward yourself, and you just, sort of reflect on the activities and the hard work that you put, and then just reflect on yourself, and then really just be happy, and then reward yourself, and just stay positive, which is a great thing, and just shake your own hand and be like, okay, you achieved this, now we're gonna move on to the next goal, next academic goal. So thank you for watching this video. Take good care. See you guys in the